Let's talk about what is one of the biggest employee motivators. By the end of this video, you're going to be ready to quickly and powerfully get top performance from the people who you lead, motivate them to give you their best, and have a lot less friction and cost along the way. I'm going to share with you what is the single most powerful human motivator and how it's the same for every person. I'll walk you through a detailed, easy, lightweight framework you can use to quickly and effectively discover what each person is going to be motivated by. And I'll show you how using this framework can help you avoid millions of dollars of cost in your business every single year. When you're talking about employee motivation, the most critical place to start is accept the truth about why people work. Every single one of us works to get the life we want. That's it. That's the ballgame. This is true no matter what generation you're in, no matter what level of authority you're at on the organizational ladder, and no matter what type of work or industry that you participate in. We're all working to get the life we want. And work is a way we get those critical resources to make that life happen. What that means for us as leaders is to understand that the true heart, the true engine of professional motivation and engagement is someone's ability to get the life they want from the job they have. Most times when we try to adjust and figure out a new approach to motivation, we look at the job and we think, how is this impacting them within the confines of work? That's not going to get the job done because they don't make their decisions about how they're motivated on the details of the job. They make their decisions on how they're going to bring you their performance every day based upon how the job facilitates their desired life. So that's the key. Having said that, once you know that, the most important thing a leader, a manager, an employer can do is accept it. And specifically, accept the fact that you don't have control over the life that somebody wants. You can't script that for them. Nor can you make them choose desires that fit what you can offer them within the context of their employment. You can't change that. What you can do is learn it. You can discover it and use that information they give you about the life they're trying to build for themselves and their loved ones to give you a clear picture of whether they can get it from what you're giving them and then make the best choices. This approach I'm going to walk you through revolutionized my approach to interviewing and hiring. It allowed me to save millions of dollars every year in avoidable costs with attrition and replacement. It made better hires, it made happier employees, it made longer tenures, and it made me very well known for my ability to motivate top performance. That model is what I've created called the Life Motivation Model. And LIFE is an acronym. If you ever think that there's a thought leader out there that doesn't love acronyms, you're wrong, we don't exist. So this one, LIFE, it stands for lifestyle, income, feelings, and employment, L-I-F-E. And where it came from was when I started leading teams, like most leaders, I had to produce a really large result in a really short period of time with a limited amount of resources. So I had to very quickly figure out how I was going to do that using the people that I had. I sat down one day and I common sensed it. And I asked myself, well, what's the best way to get someone to give me what I need most from them? Well, it's to give them what they want most. And then I asked myself, okay, well, what do people want? Like, why do they work? What do they want from work? And the answer was so clear and so quick. It's to get the life they want from the work they give. So when I was interviewing people or getting to know the team members I had inherited, I would say, hey, as much as you're comfortable, because this is totally voluntary, if you want to tell me about the life you're trying to get for yourself and your loved ones, I'll honestly tell you if you can get it here. Because if you can, that's party time for me. I'm going to get everything I need from you every single day with a minimal amount of friction. Because you're going to be intrinsically motivated to bring me your best by the fact that giving me your best here will help you get what you want in your life outside of work, which is why you work in the first place. But also, if you can't get that life, Then you're going to disengage, your performance is going to dip, and eventually you're going to leave, and my company is going to have to pay the cost of replacing you, which on average is about 150% of your salary. So I had this conversation numerous times, and the different types of information fell into those 4 buckets: lifestyle, income, feelings, and employment. When you have that conversation, it gives you the information of what they want. Then on your own as a leader, you would ask yourself, based on this, what would I have to give them that life? Here's an example. I want to live in New York City, where I'm currently living for the rest of my life. That's great news for you as a leader if you have a promotional path in that market and you can pay me in line with the New York City cost of living. If you can do that, you can maintain access to the privilege of my top performance. If you can't do that, you should plan to lose me at some point in the near future, once I realize I can't get what I want from the job I have. The key there is to be honest with yourself about it. Honestly assess if you can give them what you would need to give them in order for them to get the life they want from the job they have. Because they're going to figure it out eventually. And if you're not talking with them about this in a supportive way before they realize it, they most likely won't tell you that they've realized they can't get it. When people realize they need to find a new job, one of the first things they do is they stop telling their boss things. And so you want to be able to get ahead of that if you can, if the person chooses to give you that kind of place in their life. And the life motivation model will help you do that. By the way, my book, Desire-Based Leadership, basically walks you through the life motivation model, how to use it, why to use it, and specific positive impacts it's going to make on your business. The last step of using the life motivation model is to talk with them about that honest analysis. If you can't give them what they want, tell them. Be honest with them. They're going to leave eventually anyway. You can probably make it a better experience and limit the cost to your business if you do. If you find out you can give it to them, definitely tell them. Because again, that's party time. That's joyful. That's, we can give you what you want for the foreseeable future. Here's how we're going to do it. Once they know they can get what they want most from giving you what you want most from their performance, you will have their top performance every single day. Now, here's the financial impact, the bottom line. I mentioned earlier that on average, it costs you 150% of someone's salary to replace them. The reverse is that pay scale, which is one of the world's leading researchers on compensation strategy and trends, has found that the average raise that somebody needs in order to be fully engaged and satisfied is between 5 and 10%. Now I know 5 to 10% is more than most companies give for a once annual raise without a promotion. But what you're deciding on is, do you want to give them a 5 to 10% raise, or do you want to pay 150% to replace them? I'll put some numbers on it to really make you feel it. If someone makes $150,000 and it's 150% of their salary to replace them, you will spend $225,000 to get their replacement into the seat on day one. That $225K does not include the cost of paying the replacement $150K salary for the first year in the role. Now let's say you need to do 15 replacements a year at that same rate. Well, $225K times 15 is $3.375 million. In those circumstances, that would be an annual cost. It would be almost all of unproductive cost, and it would be almost all avoidable cost. That's why this matters. That's why the life motivation model is a huge help to you as a leader. I'm so glad we got to talk about this really important topic. And we also know that a key part of motivating employee performance often comes through promotions. But what do you do? How do you motivate an employee who didn't get a promotion? If you want to talk about that question and figure that out, click on the link in the description of this video. It's going to take you to my video on how to motivate an employee who didn't get a promotion. I'm going to give you plenty of insights and tactics on how to navigate that sticky situation. I'll see you there.